All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Degenerate Disseminators podcast. I'm your host Jordan, joined by my good friend, co-host, hockey expert Daniel.
Hey guys.
Yeah, so it's our first episode ever. So if you're here, thanks for watching. Hope you stick around. We have a pretty busy Monday night here going on with 5 picks, right? I think sound about right. So we got one for Monday Night Football. I have two for the NBA as well, and then Daniel is coming in with 2 picks from the NHL. Um, should we start with the football game, or what are you most excited about here?
Um, let's start with football. Let's
Alrighty,
see what's going on in the NFL right now.
alrighty. So we have the Denver Broncos playing the Cleveland Browns at home. I think the big question here about this game is that are the Browns really that good, or was Jameis Winston just that excited to play in the snow for the first time? Your heart's going to tell you the second option, in my opinion.
I know my heart is.
Yes, exactly. But we love Jameis Winston. Good kind of CTE that guy has. But to keep it short, I don't think they're going to do well against the Broncos. Um, we have seen the Browns significantly improve, going 2-2 as Winston has moved to the starting role in that span. However, the Broncos are 9-3 against the spread overall on the season, which is second best in the NFL, only behind the Detroit Lions, who are 10-2. Actually, I think 10-3 now after the Bears game, which I bet on, unfortunately, but we don't got to talk about that. Um, yeah, and the Detroit Lions are arguably the best team in the NFL right now. So the Broncos being in that same level of being against the spread is pretty interesting to see. However, the Browns are only 4-7 overall against the spread, and that number might be a little skewed with the quarterback change, but still not good overall. Um, and with that, the Broncos are 3-0 at home. I do see them, you know, losing a home game when they are favored at some point this season, but the Browns are not the team that do it. We also have Bo Nix looking to make a strong case for the Rookie of the Year, which is pretty interesting to see. And the Broncos are sitting on that seventh seed in the AFC, so it's kind of like a must-win game for them. I feel like. I also do have the defensive stats on here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so the Broncos, they have which I thought was crazy. They're sitting at number three defensively, only giving up 296 yards per game, um, being both top 10 in both passing and rushing defense. And this is really not good for the Browns because in both passing and rushing offense, the Browns are in the bottom five for both of those. So I think as long as the Broncos do what they're typically doing defensively, the Browns are not going to score a lot of points, and realistically, the Broncos need to score a lot of points to win. So with that being said, I am going to take the Broncos at -5.5, which is right now sitting at -110 for 1.1 units. So yeah, Dan, you want to kick it over to your NHL picks before I get an NBA?
All right. Coming in hot. Number one pick for me. Devils at Rangers. I'm taking the Devils money line. Now, personally, me, not a big fan of either team, but Rangers have not been looking good this year. I mean, come on, guys. Zibanejad, nowhere to be found. Panarin carrying the team on his back. Shesterkin, not looking so hot. Now, Devils money line. Devils looking great. Nico Hischier, top of the league scoring goals. You got Jack Hughes. You got Jesper Bratt. All these guys scoring a lot of goals, getting a lot of points. So Devils money line at -110 for 1.1 units. And secondary pick, just my personal pick here. Nico Hischier, anytime goal. I think he'll do it.
Sounds good.
Now,
Just a heads up,
game
guys.
number two.
The spread the money line pick is our official pick. If we are going to keep track of how the podcast does, the anytime goal is more just like a lean. If you do want to lay it up with something, Daniel thinks it's a pretty good option to pick.
Yes, sir. All right. So number two, Blackhawks at Maple Leafs. Now, should be a pretty easy pick here. For me, it's -1.5 Maple Leafs at -130. I mean, come on, guys. Maple Leafs, great team, playoff contender. I know it's early in the season. Will they make it past the first round? Don't know. We've yet to see. But I think they can pull off at least 2 goals against the Blackhawks. And Blackhawks not doing so hot. Even with Bedard on their team, just can't pull it off. Now, my personal pick here, anytime Nylander goal. Guys on top of the team. He's got the most goals on the Maple Leafs. I think he can do it. Now, for the final NHL game of Monday night, we're seeing the Stars at the Utah Hockey Club. Now, kind of an interesting game. Both not crazy high scoring teams. Although, I mean, come on. Utah Hockey Club versus Golden Knights. Very interesting game. Pick up a 6-point shutout on the Golden Knights. So, could see an interesting upset here. But my personal pick for this game is going to be Stars money line at -146.
Alrighty, thank you,
Throwing it
Daniel.
back over to you for NBA.
Alrighty,
Mr. Jordan.
yeah. So we got two picks going on the NBA. One's a little more trend based. The other one's kind of just me being a Heat fan and knowing they don't stand a chance. But we'll get to that one second. First one we have is the Brooklyn Nets at the Chicago Bulls. This is I can't sugarcoat this. This is a mid off. Both teams have losing records. I do like the Bulls team a little more in this spot, given the Nets do not have their leading scorer, Cam Thomas, who we have seen, he scored 40 points at the start of the season. I think he's averaging around 25 currently, which is pretty good, especially since the Nets really don't have any other options. These two teams already faced off just outside of the first week of the season on November 1st. And the Chicago Bulls were actually laying 1 point as underdogs, and they ended up losing by 8. But this was in Brooklyn. Now they're in Chicago, so a little flip of the script here. But a big thing is that Cam Thomas will not be playing. In this first matchup, Cam Thomas obviously was in the game and went absolutely insane for 32 points. I believe only 4 other Nets players got in the double digits, and they were like low double digits. I think the next highest score was like 14 points. So with that said, I really don't see anyone on the Nets being able to step up and, give an output of 32 points in order to keep it close with the Chicago Bulls, especially at home. Let's see here. I also do believe offensively, the Bulls have just more options. We're looking at Zach LaVine, Kobe White, Vucevic, and Daniel's favorite basketball player is Josh Giddey, and he's been not crazy scoring output, but he is crashing the boards, and he is really doing a good job at finding open players for easy shots. So he's racking up rebounds and assists, just being a good overall team player and helping the Bulls succeed. Let's see here. I know I said it's a mid-off, but both of these teams suck defensively. Like, there's no hiding it. Overall in the season, the Nets are ranking 26th in defensive rating, so bottom 5 in the league. The Bulls are actually 29th, so second worst. But when you look at the actual number of defensive rating, it's they're right there with each other, so pretty much in the same boat. However, if you flip it over on offense, the Nets have actually been way better, ranking at number 8 with the Bulls being number 14th. However, if you look at the last 3 games, which Cam Thomas has not been absent, the Bulls have actually jumped up all the way to that 8th spot, and the Nets have only gone up 1 place to 7th. So we're also virtually even there. So like I said, I just think Cam Thomas not being there and this game being in Chicago really makes me want to pick the Bulls. And the Nets are actually playing a game right now against the Magic, unless it just finished up. But they were down by like 15 when I checked. So second night of a back-to-back, missing your best player. Give me the Bulls at -5 for 1.1 units, as it is sitting at -110. So here we go with the Miami Heat. It's the first episode. Me and Daniel have a lot of lore to give out. As the episodes roll out. We are some Florida fellas. We love the Heat around these parts, but
Fortunately.
yeah, don't really know how it's looking for the Heat going to Boston on the second night of a back-to-back. The Celtics are also going to be playing on a second night of a back-to-back. However, they do have the home team advantage. Playing in Boston is just really rough for any team. The only 2 losses they have at home this year are to the Golden State Warriors, who started the season crazy. So it wasn't really that big of an upset. They were favored to win that game, actually. And then they lost by 1 point to the Hawks, which is kind of just random, it happens. They were favored, I think, by double digits in that game. But don't really have any stats for this one because, I watch a lot of the Heat, and I do watch a lot of the Celtics, given conference rivalry there. I just don't think the Heat are going to have what it takes. I'm very surprised that the Celtics are favored under double digits. They're only sitting at 7.5. I think that the Celtics are going to come out swinging. They're going to take that lead early. And, the Heat can't hold on to a lead. And if you can't do that, you really can't come back fighting to get a lead, in my opinion. And also, we do see Derek White and Jaylen Brown sitting out tonight as they're playing the Cavaliers right now. So we have two top-tier players on the Celtics that are going to be really fresh tomorrow. And yeah, I just see the Heat really struggling to keep up. So although it pains me, I am taking the Celtics at -7.5, as I think that is way too low at 1.1 units once again, as it is sitting at -110. And I believe that is all our picks. Let me just bring this up really quick. Oh, I can't bring up the sticky note for some reason on Discord. So just to recap, we do have the Broncos at -5.5 for 1.1 units, the Bulls at -5 for 1.1, and then the Heat Celtics game, we're taking the Celtics at -7.5 at 1.1. And I'm sorry, Daniel, but I don't remember what yours were. If you want to give us the rundown for you too.
Podcast. Devils money line at 1.1 units, and -1.5 Maple Leafs at 1.3 units.
Alrighty, so I think it was 5.7 was the number. So 5.7 units in play. Busy night, we had to kick it off. Great for the podcast. And it is also the start of a new month. November, this past month, best month on the sports books. So let's see if I can top it. But that is going to be it for today's episode. We're not going to be doing daily, unfortunately, right now. It's a little tricky with Daniel and I's schedules. I'll probably be back for Thursday, for Thursday Night Football, NBA, NHL. And then we're probably going to dabble into some UFC getting closer to the weekend, I think. Right, Daniel?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Fighting is,
it's Pantoja versus Asakura, the guy they took from Risen. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. And we also have bowl games for college football this Saturday. So hopefully we can start off our first week of giving out official picks. Great, but that is going to do it for today. And we'll see you guys in Thursday's episode. Thank you.
Later, fellas.